Alright, during this lesson we are going to talk about how to set up our max file scale so that we can all be on the same sheet of music when it comes to how large our objects are. Also, when I describe to you how large I'm making certain things and the parameters, we can all follow along very easily. So the first thing we want to do is follow my cursor to Customize, Unit Setup, and we're going to check to make sure that we are on US standard feet with decimal inches. We're also going to check it in the System Unit Setup. 1 unit equals 1 foot. That's correct, that's correct. Alright, now we're going to set up our virtual studio, as some folks refer to it, and that consists of image planes, sometimes camera references, and so forth. It can get very detailed, and it's specific to your own preferences, but we're going to go very simple. The first thing we're going to do is find a reference photograph of the object that you want to model. Now I googled and found this wonderful queen palm tree, which is part of my ecosystem that I have chosen for my world, and so I want to make sure that it's just on a square image size, square canvas, so that I don't have to deal with the differences in proportions. It's much easier just to slap on an image plane if it's nice and even and I don't have to worry about squash and stretch. So once that it is prepared, I go ahead and save that so that I can access that through Max. And let's see, the first thing I'm going to do is go to the front view. I'm going to push F on my keyboard, and up here to the Create panel I'm going to select Plane and simply give myself a planar surface. The length is going to be the same as the width, and so I want a 15-foot tree. I'm going to plug in 15 and 15, and I'm also going to make sure that the segments are 1 and 1, and I'm going to place that at 0, 0, 0. So go to my Move gizmo, or W on the keyboard, and I'm going to simply move that to, oops, my keys are set up for different programs, and sometimes the keys conflict. So that being in the center of my world, I just want to go ahead and put that just a little bit below the horizon line. And I'm also, since I'm right here, I'm going to reset my pivot point to ground level. So I'll go into my motion, or my hierarchy panel, and where it says just pivot, the rollout, I'm going to say effect pivot only, and then I'm going to move that pivot down to ground level. Alright, and click out of there, back to the modify panel, and you can see that I have a plane at 15 by 15, segments 1 by 1. Now I'm going to apply that photograph that we've prepared. Up here in the material editor, click once to bring up the material editor, and we'll start new even though I've prepared these before. Click on a default material, and we will, right here where it says diffuse, click on the box right next to the swatch. We're going to click on bitmap, OK, and go find our image plane that we're going to be using. I'm going to pause this while I find it. Okay, I found my image plane, and so I select on that and I open that, and it will put that right on the default material, and I'm just going to drag and drop that right on there. It'll turn your planar surface gray until you click on this button, which is Show Standard Map in Viewport. Select on that and you will see your map, which is applied there. Now if you go to P on your keyboard, perspective, you will see that your planar surface is at 0, 0, 0 world coordinates, and we're just going to back that up out of the way so that we have room to model. Some artists they prefer to have their image planes centered. That's usually for characters or some other object that they have both a side view and a front view. This is fairly organic, what we're dealing with for ecosystems, so I just make one plane and back that up so that I have reference to that, the height and the proportions of that. Alright, the next step will be to begin modeling our tree. So stay tuned.